closer together. So just a few things about child pose then. You can put a blanket underneath your knees or two, if that's helpful. You also can put blankets in between your knees. Some people get a pinch behind their knees.
I had one of these pads.
Okay, a pad could work too. Okay, great.
The foam pad, you know.
Yeah, a pad could work really nicely too. So as long as you can do it. Now you could do child pose with two chairs, right? You could have your knees out like this and I have your arms on the second chair and you will get a very similar stretch.
Okay. Great, thank you.
I also like to kind of wag the tail a bit in that pose, which we'll do, but just to kind of let the hips sway one way and the other is kind of nice. The little teeny little massage there. All right, any other comments before we begin? I will focus on the lower back too. If anyone's interested in pelvic floor, I have a yoga therapist doing a virtual workshop tomorrow. It's 2 hours. It will be recorded and she specializes in pelvic floor, which is why I invited her. I've taken her classes, but I thought, you know what, let's just bring the expert in and see what kind of questions people ask. Very often our pelvic floor is related to all kinds of things such as lower back pain. So it's more important sometimes than we think it is. And also a little bit of core work can help the lower back, right? So lower backs can be from pulling, from tightness in the hips, the hamstrings. It can be from too much of a lower back curve like that, which I'm really good at because I'm hypermobile there. So it kind of depends. Are we tight there or are we really loose there? And that causes different things around that area. So let's begin.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and mute everybody. Have a good one.
Okay, thank you. I'll turn this a little louder just in case you're not hearing me. All right. So one of the best things we can do for our lower back, our spine, our internal organs is back to the breath, back to the breath, back to the breath. But let's focus on, did I sound like a broken record? Let's focus on that exhale at the end. So we can start with a focus on massaging the lower back with our breath, and then we can focus on tightening or contracting right at the end of the exhale to support the lower back. They go hand in hand. So first, let's start breathing in and out through the nose as we always do. And this is why the focus or the foundation of yoga is breathing. Breathe in and out through the nose. Feel the belly expand. Feel the side ribs expand. You can take your hands there if you'd like to feel it. Sometimes tactile, like touch, helps you tune into this area even more, into any area in your body by touching it. And then how about one hand on the belly and maybe one hand behind your lower back. So as you breathe, you can feel there. And if it's hard on your shoulder, then let that go, or maybe switch hands if it's hard to touch the lower back. Breathe in. You feel the belly expand, but you may not feel it so much back behind there. But take your mind's eye to the lower back and to your hand that is touching the lower back as you breathe in and out. So we're bringing our awareness, our focus, our intention to massaging the lower back with our breath. So sometimes when we're in pain or discomfort, just breathing alone and sending the breath to this area can be very, very helpful. Just by bringing your focus there, it changes the circulation in that area. We know that from different scans of the body. And then release that. That's a long time to keep your hands there. Let's circle the shoulders around and about. And the other thing that I love about yoga therapy is we're never looking at the body with these isolated parts, right? We're looking at the body as a whole. So from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head and back down. And anything along the path can impact your spine. Let's find a few cat-cows, which is also lovely for the spine. So chin to chest, gazing at the navel, and you'll see the navel comes in. Then inhale, we lift on up, heart rises, top of the ears back, but no kinking in the neck. Exhale, round, chin to chest. Spread your shoulders, maybe take your elbows out to the side. And inhale, lift up. Now, when we're doing cat-cow, we can focus on the upper body or the upper shoulder area, or we can focus on the lower spine. So with your next inhale, focus on the sitting bones moving back and notice what you feel. If you feel a stretch, that's a good indication there's definitely some tightness there, but you're loosening it up. Then on your exhale, pull your belly in at the end of the exhale and notice how the lower back lengthens and the tailbone goes down. So I'm not focusing so much on the top right now. Yes, they're curving, but my focus is more down here. So inhale, we lift and we take the sitting bones back. The hips are moving back. On the exhale, belly pulls in, sitting bones angle down. Angle down. So really feel a lengthening through the lower back. Down through the sitting bones and your sacrum. Inhale, lift. Exhale, belly tones, pelvic floor tones. Sacrum angles down. Let's come back to neutral. Let's come back to neutral. Lift your right knee in towards you, sitting tall. And let's take the knee out to the side and bring it back in and out to the side. If you want to add a little balance in here, you might take the arm forward and out to the side just to add in a little bit of rhythmic synchronicity. Ooh, that's a fancy word. And in and out, and then circle the knee around. So circling the whole upper leg around, the whole upper leg. And then let's place the ankle either for gentleman's pose, heel into ankle, or somewhere where the foot is on the blocks, or an ottoman in front of you, or on the thigh. So we can get into our hips. Sit tall, angle your sitting bones down. So we're supporting the back. Then lean forward. Remember, we talked about this on Wednesday. If we focus on the top of the head and then this line going down through our spine, focus on the bottom of the spine. So you're making a long line. Inhale and exhale, pull the belly in. Let's push down now through the left foot, rise up, take your arms out to the side. Fingertips on top of the shoulders. Twist to your right. Inhale to center. Twist to your left. maybe you release your hands. You might place one hand on your foot or your thigh, the outside of the thigh. Lift the shoulder up and back, the back shoulder. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale back to center, extending the right leg forward. Forward. Push down now through the left foot, right heel. Pull the toes towards you, press them away, and right toes towards you, point away. Let's flex it around and about. And do like a windshield wiper. Let the foot come in. See the kneecap though is, and the middle toes are going together. And we take it out, same thing, kneecap, middle toes out, and swish it right and left a few times. Returning to center, lift tall, slightly. So I would call this about a third or a quarter of the way down. Breathe in, breathe out. Imagine this, you can place your hand, if you feel balanced, on top of your head. So you're lengthening through your spine. You might take your hand behind and touch your sacral area or the end of your spine so you can feel that long line. Press down, rise up. Yep, drag the heel back in. Let's find a cat-cow. Angle the sitting bones down, lengthen the lower back. Inhale, open it up into a big wide V. Exhale, round, take your fingertips together, touch your fingertips. Inhale, open it up, big wide V. Focus on the lower back as it lengthens back, sitting bones move back. Some teachers like to call this blossoming the buttocks. Exhale, round, fingertips touch. Inhale, open it up. Release your hands down. Push your palms down into your thighs. Notice how your belly tones as you lift tall. Push your right foot into the earth. Feel your muscles activate. Release. Push your left foot down. You can't really see I'm doing it, but you know I am. Push it down. Release. Now push both feet down. Notice how your pelvic floor just tones automatically there. We're rooting down. And so we're getting rooting action in our pelvic floor as well. And release. Lifting the left knee towards you. Give it a big hug on in. And then take it out to the side and back forward. And if you'd like to add in the arm movement, feel free. Opening, close it up, open it, close it. Let's find our number 4. So either foot down, foot on blocks, or ankle on opposite thigh. Again, we're tall. Let's do a little twist here. So twisting towards the left, back to center, towards the right, back to center. And again, notice how your spine feels. Is it too much of a twist? Do you need to decrease the twist? Could you add in a little bit more? This is where you get to decide. You are the guru of your body. Yes. Let's lean forward. So I'm going to use my hands and push the sitting bones down into the chair as I lean forward. And then you can take your arms out to the side if you wish. Remember, you might take one hand to the top of the head. So you're literally pushing the top of the head into your palm. Keep angling your sitting bone down. That'll keep you grounded. You might take your hand to your lower back here and notice how it feels. Let's press down through our foot, rise up, and find a twist. So you might have your hand on the foot, or You might have your hand outside the thigh and the other one behind the chair. Take about 3 breaths and imagine that with each breath, you're massaging your spine and your internal organs. Breathing in and out, and in and out. One more time. And out. Back to center. And let's release. Place this to the side. Extend both legs. Push both heels into the earth. Pull your toes towards you and circle the ankles around and about. Around and about. And reverse it. You can hold on to the side of the chair for balance. Let's drag the right foot back towards us, hands on our hips. Or one hand on top of your head, one hand lower back as you lean forward so you feel that straight line. You imagine this diag, your lower spine, and moving towards your neck and out through your head. It's like a beam of light because you guys are filled with light. Press down, rise up, bring the foot on in, and let's open it up. Let's open it up. Inhale, arms out to the side. Exhale into cactus. Lifting the right arm up towards the sky. Go to your range of motion and pull it back down. Other side, lifting up. Exhale, pulling down. Let's do this motion with lifting the heel. So lifting the opposite heel. Right arm, left heel rises. Exhale, switch it up. Right heel, left arm. Switch it up, reverse it, and reverse it. I hope you know it's a brain teaser for me too, because I got to talk and do it at the same time. So thinking about it is, okay, we're just using those neural pathways. Bring both back to cactus. Lift tall. Exhale, round your spine like cat here. Pull your belly in, gaze at your navel. Then press your palms into your thighs, draw your shoulders up and back. You might have to walk your hips back a little bit here. And then we're gonna round our spine towards the right. To center, push your hands down into your thighs towards the left, rise on up. There you go. And again, so we're gonna round towards the left, forward, you're gonna feel the weight in your feet, anchor your sitting bones down, push your hips down, and curve towards the right. Let's use an arm. So bringing the left arm forward as we diag to the right, circle it around, place the hand back to the thigh, switching arms. Right arm to the diag, circle it forward towards your right and bring it on in. Rise on up. Good. Let's extend the right leg, or you can bring it back in as such for our side angle pose. Forearm to the thigh. Circle the shoulder around and about. So side bends are awesome for our spine as well. And then make some like smiley faces with your arm. Kind of going from left to right and right to left. And then eventually find your way to your version of arm towards over the ear. It could mean hand on shoulder, or it could mean this just nice side bend. Now really push down through the right hip and the thigh into the chair. And then reach to your length, not to pain, right? You might take your hand to your top of your head and then push the top of the head into your palm as you lengthen even more towards your right. Then you may extend your arm. Breathe in. As you breathe out, tone your pelvic floor, tone your belly, maybe gaze up, maybe. That's where your neck comes in. How does the neck feel? Let's press down through our feet, rise up, and bring both feet back together. And so now just circle on your hips. So it's nice in between when we've been in a static pose to bring a little bit of fluidity in. And that's another thing, like the lower back can, or the spine in general, likes to move. And very often we are in sedentary poses. So finding some movement, even if you're sitting at the computer or watching a program, add in a little bit of fluidity every now and then will provide some relief. Let's do side angle on the other side. So either right knee is forward or leg is lengthening. And readjust yourself so you're comfortable on the chair, so that the edges of the chair are not pushing into your legs. Let's float our arms up, relax the shoulders. Exhale, forearm down on thigh. Now let's round the spine. Take your chin towards your chest. Feel your belly tone at the end of the exhale. Then inhale and open it up as you lengthen. You might take your hand to the top of your head to do this. So I'm going to go down, nose towards navel, and then inhale, open it up, pressing my crown into the hand. If you don't put your hand on there, you can imagine it, right? And then find your way to those half circles or smiley faces. Just a way to, again, fluidity rather than being static. Now we're going to take the arm over the ear. Find your stretch long. Again, you either can put your hand behind your head, elbow forward, or hand on top of the head. We're never pushing the head in any kind of strong way. It's always gentle, 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 but touching just with even your fingertips. It's that tactile sensation, increasing our awareness in space. Breathe in. Breathe out. Really push down through the thigh, through the left hip. Press down through your feet. Rise up. You got it. Let's bring it back in. Bring it back in. Notice how you are feeling now. Let's stretch the legs out before we go down to the earth. Always awesome for the lower back. I want to talk about when you're standing. Now, when we have 3 hamstrings, which is why I bring this up. So when we're stretching, we want to make sure we get into not just the one hamstring. So very often, people with tight hips or lower back pain are I'm exaggerating, okay, but toes out like this. Or it could be one out and one in. That can lead to some lower back pain because what's happening is that one area is getting tighter. When we do like this, just for a moment, this smushes the lower back. So, you know, it very often ballerinas or dancers can experience lower back pain, which is why they brought yoga in. I think probably Pilates too, into their whole practice and routine. Place the tie on the sole of your foot, and you can lower the heel down or place it on blocks or whatever you have in front of you, maybe a chair or sofa. And shoulders up and back, we sit tall. Feel the stretch. If you don't feel it, you might lift it a little bit more. Make sure the knee is not locking. It's hard to feel it when the knee is locked. Very often we don't feel it then. Now we can turn the toes out. That's going to get at another hamstring. So just notice. You might say, oh, well, I don't feel that much. So that means probably that is not very tight. That one's not tight, right? And then bring it back in. And then bring the leg so it's angling towards the left, and then open it back out to the side. Sit tall, don't let yourself flop over one way or the other. Pull it back in. Good. And release it down. Now, take your foot and you can hold on to the side of the chair and gently press the top of the foot down, or come to the edge of the chair and press the top of the foot down. If you cramp, stamp it down. Stamp your foot down, come out of it. You can reach your foot, massage it. You know, I keep my handy dandy ball. I have one at my nightstand, one at my yoga mat, one down here, because it's so key to massage our feet. So this top of the foot down, and you can have a blanket underneath it too to help. It's going to help stretch not only the front of the ankle, which helps our walking, but also the front of the thigh that is often very tight. That can lead to lower back pain as well. So when the hip flexor area and the psoas is tight, that very often can cause some pain there. Let's step the foot back up and go for the other side. Strap around the foot. And then lengthen your leg out. Go tall. Now, so often we lean back, but if we lean back, we're not going to get the same stretch. So try to stay upright. Head is rising upwards. There's that string on the top of your head and it's pulling you upright. Then press the heel away as the toes move towards you. Now you can switch this up a bit by just pressing the big toe mound away. Don't growl at it, just push it away. Pretend you're gonna push on the gas with it. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, turning the toes outward now towards the left, heel is in. Take a moment and feel. How does this feel differently? I know I'm feeling a sensation that is different. Getting at a different hamstring. Breathe in. Breathe out. Heel back down. Open it up. Just to get in that inner thigh area a little bit. Pull it back in. Maybe cross over the midline. Maybe turn the toes in, but make sure you keep your knee and everything aligned. Toes up, release, and let's do that little ankle and thigh stretch before we go down to the earth. So holding on to the side of the chair, coming towards the edge of the chair, and then placing the top of the ankle and the foot down. Or sit to the side. This may be more accessible for you. We're lengthening the front of the thigh down, downward. Knee is moving downward. I'm holding on to the chair. You could even have a chair or a counter next to you. You don't want to feel like you're going to fall off the seat. And then pull it back in. And here we go. Let's find our way to down on the earth. Bring your blanket and your strap and your block with you. Move cracks out of the way so we don't fall on them. Find your way down. You might put padding under your knees. And we'll come down. We're going to work towards a child pose so we can work on that. So slowly coming down. Moving the chair out of the way, so you don't see it here. For my interior designer students who think I need to be more feng shui, right? Okay, so I'll show child pose forward and to the side. If your knees are sore, you might want to put a blanket down. And remember, you could do this with two chairs. You could put a blanket in between your knees. Or some people even put a bolster, but it would look like this. So anything that gives a little cushion in between the knees. some people get a little pinching there. So something like this. Actually, that's really good for the calves. Really good for the calves. And you have a question? I see you raising your hand. No question. So this is amazing. If you can do this, it'll stretch your calves out really good. You can even put a rolled yoga mat under here. I know that I'm off on a tangent, but if you have tight calves and you are comfortable doing something like this, go for it. Stretch those calves out. All right, so here we are. Knees can be apart or knees can be together. Walk your fingertips forward. You can place a block underneath your forehead, or you can let the head gently touch down. You also could let the head sway to one ear or the other if that's better for you. If you've got really tight shoulders, there's something going on, bend your elbows to protect yourself and maybe rest your head on your forearms. Once you're there, go ahead and sway like we were talking about. Sway to your right and then to your left, and feel the massage that you're giving to your lower back. Sway one way and then the other, and feel. So feel the sensation. Rock, maybe a little bit more range of motion each time. Notice you might feel a little tightness on one side, but you don't feel it on the other. And then come back to center. And let's make the crescent. So I'm going to face this way now. So here we are. Our arms are forward. We're going to walk them over now towards the right. And you're going to go to your range of motion, then pull, 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 pull the opposite hip back. You should be feeling a stretch along the side of the rib cage here. And then take about 3 or more breaths to really feel the stretch. Breathe in and breathe out and breathe in and breathe out. One more. And let's walk the hands forward and over to the other side. Breathe in and breathe out. You're lengthening the hip, opposite direction. Enjoy this side bend. Really get into the side of the body. As you breathe, imagine that you are spreading the muscles in between each rib. Inhale, arms forward. And then rise on up. And let's go down onto our bellies for inchworm. Another place where we can massage the spine. And it's really a pelvic tilt, but it's on our belly. So if you are not comfortable on your belly, or it feels funky for you, or it just doesn't feel right on your neck, or whatever it may be, then you may go onto your back and do pelvic tilts that way. So you can rest your forehead or the side of your cheek on your forearms that are stacked, or hands that are stacked. And let's lift the sitting bones up. That's that blossoming the butt I was talking about. And then lower down and angle your sitting bones towards your heels. So back, you're going to feel a toning of the belly and the hips. Let's go again. Sitting bones rise, that's the blossoming. And then sitting bones lengthen, hips lengthen, pelvic floor gently presses your pubic bone is actually pressing down into the mat. There's a little bit of tightening and toning here, not squeezing, not clenching. toning. There's a big difference. Let's go again. Lift the sitting bones, blossom, and then exhale, tone. Angle down, feel the belly tone, the pubic bone press down, the toes reach back, and release, let that go. Let's go right to our thigh stretch here. So first, inhale, lift the right leg up, and imagine somebody's tugging your right foot and lengthening it back behind you. And then exhale, lower the leg down. Inhale, lift the left leg, thigh is off the earth, but hip is down. You don't want to be tilting right or left. Your pelvis is neutral and flat. And exhale, lower it down. Bend the right knee towards you. You might get a stretch right here without even pulling it in. Notice. And then exhale and lower it down. Other side, lift the left. Notice. Do you feel a stretch in the left thigh as you pull the heel towards you? Lower it down. If you do, you don't need to go any further. If you don't, we're going to pull the heel in a little bit more. You can either use a strap or your hand. You can go onto your side or on your belly. So on your belly looks like this, and you could put a strap around your foot as you pull your heel towards you, but at the same time, you're pushing the foot away. So for some people, it's better on their side and looks like this. You can bend the bottom knee for balance. No reason to challenge ourselves with balance when we're trying to stretch the thigh. What's the intention here? And the strap can work very well around the foot as well. I have to make a loop for that though. I'll show you while you're doing it. When you're doing this, hold it. Hold it for a lot of people say, oh, I don't feel a stretch. But sometimes we have to hold it. You could hold it for 10 breaths. You might come out of it and do it again. Here's what it looks like with the strap on. So put the strap on the foot and then pull the heel towards the buttocks. You want to make sure that the heel and the knee aren't out like that. We want to make sure that the foot, the knee line up with the sitting bone. So you can use one or both hands and pull it on in. If you experience lower back pain, make sure you're pressing your pubic bone down and lengthening your sitting bones, your hips back towards your knee. So I'm pushing foot into thigh, pushing foot into strap and strap into foot. That gets a little bit of that isometric. Then release and do the other side. Pick whichever one is best for you, whichever variation is best for you. Side or on the belly. We really want to make sure that we stretch these thighs out because this is a tough area to get into the psoas. Not as tough as other areas, but it takes a little bit of effort. So you might bring your knee forward like this and then press it back. A lot of people like that for getting into it. Relax your head down while you're stretching your thigh. And then breathe in. And breathe it out. And release. Let that go. Now I'm going to show this one. I don't show it all the time because some people think it's too much. But if you like it, and some people think it's easier than doing one foot at a time. So it looks like this. You could start on your belly, bend your knees in towards you, and then your footprints are angling up towards the sky. And then you might take one hand to one ankle or foot and the other hand to the other ankle or foot. Then we're going to angle our sit bones away from us as the heart lifts. So this is using both hands at the same time. If you want to do it, go for it. If it's too much and it causes any lower back pain, please come out of it. And then we will release. And let's press back to another child pose. So Pressing back, find the variation that works for you. Knees together, knees apart, arms bent, elbows bent, or lengthening. We're lengthening our tailbone down towards our heels. Then you're gonna feel a little toning and lengthening, because often that lower back gets tight, but it also gets crunched up. So this helps to lengthen it. And then we'll lift and come on out of that. And let's go down onto our backs. So we can do a little bit of core work, because core work is so key to lower back health. I don't like to just emphasize core belly, but for here we're gonna focus on the lower abs and keeping them toned with our legs moving. So find a nice long stance, and then we're gonna, feet are just about outside hips. So it's bridge prep pose. Feel your feet press down into the mat. Now pull your heels towards you and notice how your lower back rises. That's the pelvic tilt forward. And then push your heels down and press them away from you. Now the lower back lengthens. That's the cow pose. Pull the belly in. And pull the heels towards you, ribs rise, sit bones push down or hips press down, curve it the other way. Lengthen your sitting bones towards your heels. Now let's find a middle ground between one way and the other. So find that midway point. Then pull your right knee in towards you. We're going to lift it skyward. And then keeping our belly toned, keeping our sit bones angling away from us, start to lower the leg. If your lower back creeps up, like a mouse could get under there, then you're taking your leg too far away from you and too far down. So you're going to experiment with pulling the knee in, leg up and around, keeping a tone in the belly as you pull the knee in, press the footprint up, out, and away. So how can we adjust this? If you're feeling lower back pain, maybe the footprint doesn't go so high. Maybe the footprint doesn't go so far away from you. Pull it back in towards you more. Maybe you don't lower it so much down. That can cause stress too. So we're going to pull the knee in, around and about like you're doing a circular motion as you pull your navel down towards the earth, as you press your ribs down into the earth. Circular motion. Breathe in and breathe out, and let's hold it. So your leg can be up here, but you want your lower back pressing down. Your leg can go a little bit lower as long as you can keep the spine down. You can go a little bit lower. If it starts to creep in, pull it back in. One more time. Heels pressing away, belly toning. Pressing away, belly toning. If your heel goes down and the lower back starts to creep up, pull the knee back in and place the foot down. Let's let the knees sway one way and then the other a few times. And we'll do the other side. So here we go. Pull the left knee in towards you. Give it a hug. Start to press the footprint up towards the sky. Circle it around and about. You know where you're going. So you're looking to feel. You're looking to feel. Pull the belly in as you circle the leg around and about. And maybe you have to keep it up here if you feel the lower back lifting. Maybe you can lower it down a little bit. You're still pushing your heel away from you. Pull it in, around, and about. I don't know why this makes me think of the cider mill with the wheel going. I guess it's because it's a circular motion, huh? And then find that place where you might pause, press out through the heel. You can press your palms down, your shoulders down as you do this. Might lower it a little bit more. and then bring it on in. Give both knees a hug and roll on your spine, right and left and left and right. Massaging one way and then the other. Place your feet down. Let's take a block in our hands. If you don't have one, you can imagine you have it. Lift the arms skyward. Try to take them back behind you as you push your palms into the block. And then inhale as you come up. Pull your belly down towards the earth, pressing your hands into the block. A few more times. As you take the block back, notice if your ribs lift. If they lift, push your ribs down and don't take your arms so far back because we're working core here. So arms move back, ribs press down, lengthening the arms behind you. If the ribs lift, then push them down and maybe lift the block up a little bit higher. One more time, take it back. Keeping ribs down, stretch it, and then come back up, place the block in between your thighs, hug the block, push down through your feet, lift your hips skyward. This should not hurt. We're hugging the block with our inner thighs. On the exhale, inhale, release the hug. Exhale, hug the block with your inner thighs. Feel your hips tone. Inhale, release the hug. Exhale, pull your inner thighs towards the block. You can touch your hips to see if they're toning. And release, lower your hips down. Let's lengthen both legs, push your heels away. So it's like we're standing in mountain pose. Become aware of your mountain pose because really mountain pose is where all the other poses extend from, pushing your heels away like you're stepping on the earth. Toes are upright in their spread. I can't see them, but I'm telling them to spread. Then feel your thighs push down into the floor. You're going to feel your hips or your pelvic bone tilt up. That's okay. Now push it down and angle your sitting bones towards your heels. Imagine a line going from your sitting bones down to the center of your heels. So now we've got a toned belly. Then lift your shoulders up towards your ears, lower them down, and turn your palms upright. It's like we're standing in mountain pose. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in and breath is out. Now, keep the left leg long, pull the right knee in towards you, give yourself a big hug. And notice how you might feel a stretch here. Keep pushing out through the left heel as you pull the right knee in. You may lift the legs skyward. This is a little bit different than what you're doing because we have the other knee bent. Now, notice if the ribs pop up, you got to press them down, tone the lower belly, and you can play again with circling around and about. If you feel lower back pain, bend that opposite knee as you circle. And make sure your range of motion is adjusted. It may be better to do a smaller circle or keep the leg closer towards you. Then take your hands behind your thigh and pull the leg towards you. You can always bend that knee. Keep that knee bent. We're stretching the back of the leg. If you think you get a better grip on it, you can certainly put the tie around your foot. I'm pushing the thigh into my palms. The palms are pressing into the thigh here, or you can use the strap for certain. You can put the strap here as you press your thigh into it, or you can push it or press it around. Place it around your foot and feel that nice stretch. Imagine the leg is heavy, 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 and sinking down into your hip socket. Breathe in and breathe out. Turn the toes out. Notice how that changes it up. Turn the toes out and the kneecap out. Relax the right shoulder down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel the weight of the leg as it lowers into the hip socket. Inhale, toes forward. Let's cross the midline so we can get on that outer IT band. You can let your whole right hip lift if you want and lower the leg down towards your left. That's up to you. And then inhale, leg is back up. Let's lower it down. Notice how the leg feels. Maybe let it flap right and left and just feel. Maybe you lower the other one down. Just notice how the body's feeling. A lot of people feel like the one leg feels longer than the other. Now for the other side. So we start with our mountain pose. Push the heels away. Press the back of the legs down into the mat. Tone your belly. Press the ribs down. Draw the left knee in towards you. Give it a big hug in. Big hug in. Pull the knee in towards you. Big, big, big hug in. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breath is in. And breath is out. And then start to lift the leg and circle it around, keeping the lower abs firm and ribs down. And you can always bend the right knee. I'm just playing here, activating some core. And then when you're ready, interlace your fingers behind the left thigh, right footprint down or along. Press thigh into hands, hands into thigh. Get a good lengthening behind the thigh. Really important, pressing the footprint up towards the sky. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And in and out. Turn the leg out. So toes outward, heel in. Feel that, feel that. You'll notice that it's different. If you don't, you got to tell me. Toes forward, heel away from you, cross over the midline. Maybe let the whole left hip rise. It could fall down towards the right, or you could put a block or two underneath your foot, or you can keep it like this. This is where you get to make the practice your own again. Maybe the knee is slightly bent, but you should feel a stretch along the outside of the thigh or into the hip area. About 3 to 5 breaths. I could stay longer in all these poses, honestly, but my practice would be about 3-4 hours. Inhale, leg up, and bring your knees back in towards you. We're going to do banana pose. So I'm going to go this way so you can see. You're going to walk your feet towards the right and your upper body towards the right for banana. And that's a nice little side bend. You can cross the left foot over the right in your banana here. Take a few breaths. And then walk your feet over now towards the left and your upper body towards the left. You are making a little crescent. You can cross your ankles or not. There's no rule. It'll add a little bit more of a stretch, but if it's too much, then do not do it. We're getting a nice lengthening through the body. And then inhale back to neutral and anything else your body may need. How about a spinal twist, knees to the right, gaze to the left. Breathe in. And breathe out, stay for 5-10 breaths, tacking that opposite shoulder down, so the right shoulder down. Full breath. And knees in. Switch sides. Lowering the knees down. Relaxing the left shoulder. Straightening out your spine. So if it feels like it's veering one way and it doesn't feel quite right, you want to help yourself line up your spine. That might mean coming back to neutral and lining up and then go back into the twist. And then when you're ready, find your version of Shavasana. That might be feet up on the chair or up the wall. That would be a nice place to be. Maybe a bolster or a roll blanket underneath your knees, support your back. If you'd like a little bit of more opening, you might be in a lying down butterfly with hands on belly or heart, or arms in cactus or down by your side. But you want to find a resting pose where you can just be. Eventually coming into a neutral pose with legs long, letting the legs flop open to the side, palms upright, shoulders on the back. Once you find all that alignment, letting the back tip of the head touch the earth or perhaps a low blanket underneath you, relax. Let the whole body relax. The eyes, the jaw, the tongue, the shoulders, the spine. Relaxed belly with an easy in and easy out breath. Legs feel heavy and supported. Feeling the whole body relax. From the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Feeling the complete support of the earth. Stay as long as you wish. Some of you are already looking forward to Saturday, but instead be right here on this sunny Friday. I hope it's sunny near you. Relax and enjoy your resting pose before you move on with your day. Have a wonderful weekend. If you're interested in the pelvic floor workshop, let me know. I'll get you the information. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, everyone. I'm here for any questions. Namaste. Namaste.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
You too.
Thank you, Mindy.
I hope you all feel very good.
Thanks
you,
for all the
Mindy.
back work. Appreciate it. Bye-bye,
I hope it
everybody.
helped a little bit.
Thank you, Mindy. I feel wonderful.
I'm so glad you do, Miss Mary.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Mindy.
Thank you, Mindy.
I feel very
Bye,
great.
Terry. Bye, Nora Lynn. And
Thank you,
Bye,
Mindy.
everybody.
Bye,
bye,
Mindy.
bye,
Bye-bye.
bye, Ed.